Please unmute.
Guys, good evening. Oi, Manasvi, what happened?
Nothing, sir. Good evening.
What happened to Manasvi online today?
Yeah, sir, because my scholarship classes are also there. So that's why.
Okay, okay, good. At least you're not missing. And where is Parth Bhatia? Can I see Parth? Keep your video on. Parth, where are you? Hey, did we complete that chapter which I was continuing?
No, they were on local inhabitants.
What is it? What is it?
Local inhabitants.
Local inhabitants. I had started with second chapter of civics with you guys.
No.
Only one chapter in civics and two chapter in history, which is continuing. So what I will do in other batches, I have done 2 chapters in history and 2 chapters in civics. So maybe today I will finish this. Almost, na? Almost.
Yes.
And then we will start with civics. Okay, good looking man. What happened? Coming from Mumbai. Oh, what functions? Yes. Okay, so what is the page number we have to go in?
21.
We are in page number 22 of that Vedic period. Please everyone pick up. Vedic period, page number 22. How many notes? Sorry, how much notes did I give? Okay, so there are certain things which I will be directly marking without notes, and there are certain paragraphs where I feel I will give the notes. Will do? Are you happy with?
Yes.
Happy with what? Not writing the notes?
Yes.
So that's very sad. Everyone must write. So the paragraphs. What's it?
Stressful.
Stressful.
Yes.
Oh my God. I heard some schools. You should advocate. Okay. Local inhabitants is the paragraph that I'm going to discuss. Where are we? Sign for both the lectures. But the attendance, nobody escapes out of from the first lecture, na? Then you can sign. Look at that. When the Aryans entered India, they came into conflict with local inhabitants called, underline, Dasas or Dasyus. If you remember when I explained Harappan civilization, the extinct of the Harappan civilization is due to even the introduction of its civilization. Aryans were having superior culture. Aryans were having superior heritage. So they made Harappans as their what? Slaves. That is what the Sanskrit word. Dasa or Dasyu. Samjha? So there, if you want, you can write slaves. It is believed that since Dasas also appear, underline, ancient, why is he without anything? Kuch bhi nahi laya. Ancient Iranian literature, they may have been underlined. The branch of early. Rig Veda describes, underline, the defeat of Sambara by an Aryan chief called, it is Divodasa. So these are one of the chief. Who is defeating whom? An Aryan chief is defeating a Harappan fellow. And then it appears that Dasyus in Rig Veda represents, underline, original inhabitants of the country. Why original inhabitants? We have the record of Aryans coming from Central Asia. But we do not have any records of Harappans. They were found in India. So that's why some people say Harappans were also original citizens. Correct? Like I might have told you in South, which community? In South.
Chora, Chera.
That is Chola, Cheras and Pandyas. They are called as Dravidians. Till date, some historians are of the view they do not have any traces. You understand the meaning of the word traces? What is traces? Manasvi, what is the meaning of the word traces?
Don't know, sir.
Very bad answer. It is not in the syllabus. Parth, what is the meaning of the word traces, man?
Some evidence that some kind of evidence
Very good. देखो मनस्वी.
Imprints.
हाँ, imprints. देखो, you have your traces. You have your traces from where? Yeah. You might be saying it is my father. He might show his father. He might show his father. Sorry, ये तो बहुत बड़ा history चल. Some people say we are the father and children of only one common people only. So that's why we say we are all common brothers and sisters. What does the Indian Constitution say? All Indians are my. Are we happy to say that? We're pretty shocked to say that. Definitely, I'm very happy to say all Indians are my brothers and sisters. It is not that actual brotherhood. Bhaichara, apsi bhaichara. Like you go to any hospital, if one of the patient is treated by a nurse, and unfortunately the nurse is the wife of that patient. नहीं मरेगा, क्यों मरेगा? And unwantedly that husband has to call that lady a sister. अभी क्यों नहीं बोलेगा वो sister? Sister is a designation. क्यों नहीं? That is internal. But will the person can call them as a sister? Yes. Sister is not having any gender. It is just a designation. It's like एक बच्चा बोलता है कि सर आप टीचर है क्या? सर है, मैं बोला टीचर है, आप सर है, मैंने बोला नहीं मैं टीचर है, बोला नहीं सर. उसका बच्चा का माइंड में क्या टीचर मतलब लेडी, सर मतलब जेंट्स. No, teacher doesn't have the gender. Are you understanding? So that person can call happily nurse or the sister. So once we know the difference now, difference between whom and whom, nurse and sister.
So you said I don't make notes.
Oh, good. That we quickly. When did I say you don't make notes?
2 seconds ago.
No, you are not writing notes. You are taking a little bit of extra hearing from. Thank you. I'll see it. But it is not a fair notebook, is it? Rough notebook.
It is.
No, in between there are some mathematics. Okay, Janil. Let's come into that. It appears the Aryan chief who overpowered them call underline. It is Trasa Dasyu, the terror of Dasyu. Actually, Thras रहना चाहिए. मैं purposely इसको Trasa बोलूँ.
Yes,
हाँ, आप लोग बोल रहे हैं Thras मत कर मुझे. हाँ, देखो Marathi and little bit of Sanskrit. So जिस person ने Aryans Harappans को हराया उसका नाम ही क्या रख दिया? Das. So Das को Tras दिया. Okay, let's get into society now. In Rig Vedic time, underline. Early Vedic period, Aryans lived in, circle that word, villages. The family was underlined fundamental unit, and it was patriarchal. Anybody knows the meaning of the word?
Yes.
Male of.
Yes, it is dominant. Male is the head.
I mean, at the end of the
Okay, okay. So generally female ही होता है. हमको अभी भी हाँ, हमको अभी भी धमकी मिल रहा है female के through. So he was called underline. It is Grahapati or Kulapati. अभी मुझे मालूम पड़ा पति क्यों बोलते हैं, है ना? The death of Grahapati responsibility shift to circle that word. Eldest son. What happened? That's your feeling. It's same from the textbook only. Acha, okay, share with them. Or you can join these girls also. There's a lot of space. Okay, okay. Okay, then I love Danya na, to read.
Sir, better than you did not book.
Let her read. I can't forget the emotions.
Several families lived in Brahma. Several villages formed Visha. Many Vishas formed the Jana. The head of the village was called Brahmani, that of Visha. Vishapati, Rojan of king, was the head of the Jana. I think
Rajan. Rojan नहीं रहेगा. वो spelling mistake है. Rajan is the correct.
Raja.
Carry on.
the king's government with the help of ministers. The important officers included the Brahmani, the Purohita,
Prohita.
Rohit.
Now, if I say the word Prohit or Prohita, he is the priest. Even today, also certain language people call Prohit Aya hai. Prohit means whom? The person who is giving sermons. The person who is making the priest. Saint नहीं होता, वो पूजा वगैरह कर रहा था. Saint अलग. Saint एक कोने में बैठ के फिर हाँ वो meditate करे. He is the sage. Okay, carry on.
Rohita and the Senani. The Senani was the commander of the army.
It is Senani, right? Senani है ना? Now also we say Sainik. Hindi word comes from Senani. Or then when we started the Varna system. Anybody knows what is Varna system?
Yes.
What are they?
Shudra, Vaishya.
Pahla Brahmin.
Acha,
Let me put, during the Vedic civilization, we did not have this Varna system. Initially they had, but it was not very strictly practiced. So the first class or the community which was dividing the society called as Brahmins. Correct?
Yes.
So they were the priests.
Upper class priests.
Upper lower class जो भी है. Then came the group called Kshatriyas. And the word is saying Kshatriya. So they were generally the warriors. Am I using the right word?
Yes.
Then came the Vaishya.
Businessmen.
We can say merchants and traders.
Yes.
So please copy down this in your notebook. Yeah, after Aryan civilization हुआ, but ये start हो गया उधर से. Merchants and traders. And the fourth one, Vaishyas. Then it is Shudras. Shudras.
Laborers.
It will be not laborers. Low mean workers. Low mean मतलब जो washroom वो सब clean करता है ना. Laborers ठीक है, but I am very specifically giving it. So you put the heading as Varna system. Varna means four. You are Gauri, no?
Not Gayatri.
I used to call Gauri only.
You used to call Gayatri.
अच्छा ठीक है. Both starts with G. Anji? Quickly write down. Write down in your notebook. कब लिखा है?
हाईलाइट किया है.
ये लिखा है क्या?
उधर मैं सर्कल
नहीं भाई. To take out your notebook and please write down. Write down. I can use some scientist name. Edison of a. So now whatever we are following our Indian society has an origin with a historic civilization or the ancient civilization. Are you understanding? Okay. Let's proceed. Low mean workers or job. ठीक है. There is no strict rule, but low mean workers means actually we have a community called Bangis. Have you heard about? Bangis are those community who will work only for these only washrooms and toilets. And if I tell you, there is a industry in our country called a tanning industry. Tanning.
Yes.
What is tanning? Cleaning of the leather. उसको पहले burn करते हैं. फिर उसको गर्म पानी में डालते हैं, then they do it. To be very frank, जितना भी अपना leather shoes या belt बनता है उसी से बनता है. But आज भी उस industries में only the SCs and ST people only will go. Although the owner is a Brahmin and he will say, no, these are SCs, but वो clean करने वाला main SC people ही है. Shudras ही. But why the high class Brahmin say, बोलता नहीं ये मेरा काम है. I don't understand. Although there is no strict system, but it is understandable, they only do that job. Alright? You won't find a high class Brahmin cleaning the leather. No, but till date I haven't seen. Okay, let's proceed. Then आप इधर गए उधर गए किधर बैठे? Finally settled. What do you want to join this girl? Okay, she's good in listening. Hey, you guys both have a volume with you, Manasvi and good. Thank you. Thumbs up.
The Senani was the commander of the army and Rohita performed religious ceremonies. The administration of the villages was carried out by Brahmin. The king did not maintain any standing or regular army. However, in times of war, he used to organize travel groups to perform military functions.
Underline the word travel groups. Okay.
During the Vedic time, the tribe elected a leader of its tribe. He was not as powerful as in the later period. In the Vedic period, three popular assemblies known as the Sabha, the Sanity, and the Vidhata advised the king.
Underline that word. If I say want to say these are those people who were in the which one? The Council of Ministers. Today we say Council of Ministers. Advising whom? The Prime Minister. Or in those days, they might be Commander, General, or Attorney, Solicitor. So whoever is the king, he had three persons who will advise them. Why do he need an advisor? Because one person cannot take all the decisions. Even if he takes, certain decisions might be sometimes not so correct. So he needs some advisors. Okay, carry on. Oh, bracket mein dal hai and write advisors. ADVISERS, advisors. Next.
Very difficult time to.
Whatever, wherever she is reading, I don't have a book with me. Wait, I'll get one.
Tribal groups.
Tribal groups.
With the template in tribal.
Tribal group underline.
उसके बाद सभा समिति निर्माता
Sanity.
Samiti.
सभा
वो पुरोहितानी देता. इंग्लिश में ऐसे लिखते हैं पुरोहित.
Carry on. I've got one so that I can also.
The Vedanta was the earliest assembly which used to perform all
Yeah,
kinds of functions.
Are you know?
Yes, it up to now.
उसके पहले क्या था उसको बार-बार देखे क्यों हंसते रहते हैं कुछ तो ही रहे sometimes you behave very obviously good for carry on. I'll take over from here. The Vedanta was the earliest assembly. Underline that. Open bracket, three functions: economic, military, religious, and social. Do you think today we have all these functions? Correct. Economic, we can have a finance minister. Military, we have a defense minister. Religious, India being a secular country, no single religion. And social is a part of that. Women actively participated in deliberation. Underline deliberation, decision making. Look how good it was. During Vedic civilization, women were also at par with that.
Later Vedic.
Correct, even later. Samiti was assembly. Underline that Samiti. Sabha performed advisory and judicial. Sabha. Samiti was called two sessions. The later Vedic, underline, kingship become hereditary and divine element. So what is hereditary?
Passing from
One generation to the other. Everyone knows the meaning. But during later Vedic, underline, popular assemblies lost importance. Only earlier importance teaching. Sabha and Samiti, underline, dominated by chiefs. Now these points only you have to remember. Any of the points you have any query here? Absolutely. Are you sure? Okay. Then position of women. During Rig Vedic, underline, women were respected. Only underline that were respected. Marriage had become sacred. Now today I don't know. Both sacred has lost. अभी सिर्फ खाना डालने का, खाना खाने का 6 महीने के बाद फिर क्या होता है डिवोर्स? इतना छोटा उम्र में उतना क्या होता है ना? There was called Swayamvaras. What is Swayamvaras? The girl can elect her own husband, and every lad, the young man, has to show some act of bravery. What is that word? Act of bravery? There might be some task to be skills. अभी सोच लो अगर वही स्टेटस अगर अभी आ जाएगा लेडीज का क्या है तेरे में ब्रेवरी दिखा आई एम द मोस्ट ब्रेवेस्ट आई हैव अ टाइगर इन माय हाउस ठीक है फिर कलर today the system has really changed. The dowry the girl is giving, although it is illegal, पर boys वाला हमारे लिए कुछ नहीं चाहिए अब अपना बेटी के हमारे लिए कुछ नहीं चाहिए, अपने बेटे के लिए। Correct है ना? But then we say in Aryan or Vedic civilization, it is the boy who has to give the dowry, and that to the girl's father. तब जाके वो बेचारा खुश होके इतना डाउरी दिया, वेरी गुड, चलो ठीक है, अपना लड़की को लेते जाओ. I feel that system should come now also. At least the girl side might be very happy. At least मेरा डैड ये तो नहीं बोलेगा लड़की born होके मेरा. Today, at least in cities, these things are very almost irrelevant. But villages, even today, there are, you know, brides and grooms where there is a sad story of dowry continues. Why is a sad story? A girl's father takes money on loan. So it's only giving money. And then the marriage is done. Sorry to say, even in our Navi Mumbai, we have seen the marriages are lavish. Lavish in what sense? Even that roadside, you know, drums and other things. Sorry to say, बर्बाद तो हो रहा है, but पूरा दुनिया को बता रहा है बर्बाद हो रहा है. So उनके पास बहुत पैसा, ठीक है. Certain people say both the bride and the groom side take the money for the marriage and put it in their account as a fixed deposit. And court में जाके register marriage and near and dear relatives को खाना देके हो गया simple. But फिर हिंदूस बोलते नहीं सर, लाइफ में एक ही बार होता है. ठीक है, बस इसके लिए बर्बाद हो सकते हैं. देखो everyone. But during the Vedic civilization, in fact, I say that women enjoyed a higher status. Can we not bring that Vedic age now? Definitely. We always believe that education is the key to all the problems in society. Do you also believe? When you are good educated, automatically you are away from all social evils. What are social evils? All unwanted practices. But then we have to understand, it is the boy who has to be very strong. The bride or the groom? The groom. वो बोलना चाहिए मम्मी, whatever you are doing is absolutely wrong. अगर हमारे घर में कोई बहन होती और अगर आप ऐसा डिमांड करेगा तो क्या होगा? Understanding what I'm saying? So here I bring you back to the Vedic age where Vedic, the women were into administration. The woman was into teaching also. There are two, किसी का तो नाम आएगा. The woman was getting elected. The woman was putting vote. If I tell you that French Revolution in 10th standard, although they got 1879, France became independent. But 1946 only they gave voting rights to women. Can we say equality was given in France? No. In fact, when France was busy fighting in the World War, it is the women who used to do all the job. Factory में, laundry में, हर जगह women ही काम करता. So look how injustice done to the women. हम लोग तो बहुत बड़े-बड़े बोलते हैं. Only on the paper we talk good. Reality में position still not very good. Okay, let's proceed. The daughters were given, underline, freedom to choose. System of remarriage was prevalent, underline that remarriage. No examples of child marriage. देखो ये सब हम लोग अभी हिस्ट्री में पढ़ाते हैं. But look at that Vedic history. पूरा perfect था society. In later Vedic, there was significant underline decline in the यहाँ से start हुआ status of. Their participation in yagnas, underline, not necessary. They did not enjoy, underline, right to property. Who did not enjoy right to property? Women. But now as an equal girl or as an equal to son, every girl, even after the marriage, the girl has an equal right on the dad's property. The first and the most important state to bring this law was Kerala. Generally, लड़के बोलते तेरा तो शादी हो गया ना, अब डैड का प्रॉपर्टी में तेरा कोई हिस्सा नहीं. लड़के बोलते क्यों नहीं है ना? तो लड़का बोलता डाउरी लेके जाते समय तो बहुत हंस के लेके जाएंगे, अभी कहाँ से? But now it is law has made mandatory. How much a son gets, equal the girl should also get. Guess why? Because there are so many women, even after getting married, also they are not independent. Correct? They are under the subjugation of whom? Their in-laws only. At least dad ka property kuch jayega, he or she might become independent. That's the reason. Let's get into the next one. The marriageable age was underlined from 16 to 17. Underline that. And class divisions, I will explain to you. Yeah, I heard certain schools have cancelled some portions in this chapter. How about your schools? यही बोलता रहता, portions are cancelled. I heard they said 4 ashramas, education, food dress, religious beliefs, and they directly said, sir, only economy padha utna hi. Is your school indicating the same changes?
No.
All part is there.
No. All part is.
But ये तेरा school इधर नहीं है ना, ठीक है, no problem. Let us go to the next heading. Class divisions. Abhi class divisions, this is what I have done, but this came very later, not in the Rig Vedic. Okay.
Based on profession.
Based on profession. Where is that? Not mentioned in Rig Veda. Underline. Not mentioned a kind of class division. Local inhabitants, underline. Dasyus. Tribal chiefs and priests acquired large share of the booty. Yeah, what is booty? Uganda treasury. जितना भी वो statement treasury था, ये दोनों जन को मिलता था, chief को और priest को.
What was booty?
Booty means treasury, khajana. Underline social inequalities and tribal society. 3 groups. Put number 1 warriors, priest and the people. देखो अभी देखिए वारनास नहीं आया अभी वो लोग क्षत्रिय को warriors बोल रहा है, priest, brahmin and common people. They did not divide the common people into Vaishyas and Shudras. Abhi bhi वैसे ही है. The Varna system did not jump in here. The 4th division underlined called Shudras. End of the Rig Vedic. And let us go to question number page number 24. Economy was mainly circle that word pastoral, not food producing. Animal rearers. Pastoral के ऊपर लिखो animal rearers. Pastoral. Society was divided into different classes. Only underline few words. Second line. Person could underline adopt any animal rearers. Adopt any profession. Look at the line. I am a poet. My father is a physician, and my mother grinds corn on a stone. Being the same family, we are engaged in this. मतलब ऐसा कोई फादर का ही प्रोफेशन बेटा फॉलो करने का कोई कंपल्शन नहीं. हाँ नहीं ये वार्ना सिस्टम अलग है. This came after the later Vedic. But here now you are getting. I mean your father was a kingsman. No need you become a kingsman. You might become a farmer also. You know who is a kingsman? Who is next to the king, the bodyguards of the king. In fact, we have a good OTT platform. में Kingsman का movie है. The first movie shows you regarding the World War I. I आप लोगों को नहीं मालूम रहेगा. There was a crown prince called Archduke Francis Ferdinand. Books में आएगा when you study First World War in your 10th standard history. Okay, let's get into later Vedic caste system emerged. Underline later Vedic. Circle that word. 4 main castes and open bracket. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Already आप लोग ने लिख दिया ना? Anyone have a query? Manasvi and Parth? Confirm. Let us go to Vaishyas engaged in underline business and looked after agriculture. ये पूरा same है. Then the last point I'm reading. All the 3 higher varnas entitled to Upanayana or investiture. That is underline sacred thread according to Vedic. Even today, if you see Brahmanas, they have this on the shoulder. Some say right to left, some say left to right. हम लोग भी पहनते हैं, हम लोग के लिए पूजा के टाइम पहन के निकल. खाना फिर वो पहनेगा तो दुनिया भर का formality follow करना. Girls do not, but the boys have to wear. Sutra, वो बोलता ना वो. Have you seen this priest in your temple? A white color thread. And you have to wear it on a special day. फिर इतना में 101 मंत्र पढ़ना पड़ता है, फिर हाथ लेकर वो बहुत सारा formality. निकालने के लिए भी उतना ही formality. हाँ, house warming में रहता है. But these are all rituals, no compulsion. But if you have seen certain Rajputs and Brahmins, they wear it every day. because it's their culture. Okay, let's proceed that 4 ashramas. The 4 stages of life. Did you see second point? Underline only that 4 stages. Each 25 years duration. अभी आज अगर मैं बोलूं कि हम लोग 25 4 लेगा तो कितना हो गया 100 years रहेगा क्या? That's a big question. But in those days that's not a big question. People were easily going up till 100 plus. One, the air, the water. सबसे पहला उधर Pepsi और McDonald नहीं था. Junk food नहीं. Everything they were eating was no pesticide, no fertilizer. Correct. अभी भी नहीं करते ना. देखो, I've seen certain things. बोलते नहीं खाएंगे हम. उनका जो खाना वो प्योर और मसाला भी जो बनाते हैं वो भी घर का ही. They will not take any outside masala. So that is why they say in certain villages I have seen the best medicine that you eat is your food only. They don't use. Good. Let's get into the first stage. Brahmacharya ashram. Did you see the first stage? During this period, the people, open bracket, expected to acquire knowledge in Gurukul. And if I want to explain Gurukul in a simple way, the education that what you and me are doing is not that system. When a boy gets 7 or 8, he has to go with his guru. Guru आएगा घर में पूजा वगैरह करके दक्षिणा के साथ वो लेके चले जाएगा. Till the age of 14 or 15, that boy will be with that guru only. No books, no textbooks, no homeworks, no assignments. She liked it. They have to do the service to the guru. And it was not formal education, informal. And then the guru will decide how the student has qualified or not. But that system of education was too good. Why? In those days, the temples which are constructed 4,000, 3,000 years still standing today. But आज हमारा engineer जो building बनाता है 1 साल से ज़्यादा नहीं रुकता है. वो बेचारा अंदर पैसे देके करेगा. समझे what I'm saying? In those days, there was even plastic surgery was done. Medicines were at a high cost. मतलब अभी अगर आप लोग को मैं बोलूं that दुर्योधना and दुशासना had 98 brothers, उसका भी एक logical medical reason है. मैं बाद में बताता हूँ. They had 100 brothers, they said ना. दुर्योधना and दुशासना are only 2. बाकी 98 brothers का भी उन्होंने logical reason दिया था.
And one daughter.
One mother only. Look how they are, doing these medicines. अब वो मैं बाद में explain करता हूँ. You're too angry. But wonderful. अभी जाके ICSE board कुछ अच्छा, boys can be sent by the girls will be going. Girls, Guruji will be coming to the house, and generally the girl will be getting music and dance more, and little bit of formal education.
The 2 teachers.
2 teachers का नाम भी है. She is really demanding कि क्या करेंगे. Where Gayatri has. So that is the reason I was calling Gayatri. Where I am reading, which page I am reading?
24 pages.
But 24 में है ना मैं
25.
During the period of Grahastha Ashrama, ये second stage है, right? Second, supposed to marry, raise a family, and third stage it is Varya Prastha Ashrama. That is 50 to 75. Sorry, Varya Prastha or Varya Prastha. Then the last stage, underlying 75 to 100, Sannyasa Ashram. अभी तो बच्चे लोग इतना सता था बेचारा पापा बोलते मैं कल ही सन्यास ले लेता हूँ. सन्यास मतलब क्या है? He has done the marriage. He has given the children all they needed. Now you want to have peace. वो कोई तो ऐड में आता ना मुझे शांति के साथ रहने छोड़ो. देखो वो ऐड. Suddenly there is a ting dong, एक lady आती. शांति. पूरा family बोलते ये शांति शांति बोलो. Means when you are getting sannyasa, it is nothing but that you are relieving yourself. Guess why it should be done? Because when you are at the last stage of your death, you should not have any remorse of dying. Because आज हम लोग का life fully materialistic है. क्यों materialistic है? मुझे मोबाइल चाहिए, मुझे ये ड्रेस चाहिए, मुझे वो मूवी देखने का है. उसके घर में Lamborghini आया तो मेरा घर में क्यों नहीं आना चाहिए? है ना? Everything we demand. But if I teach Buddhism, that is the next chapter. Lord Buddha used to say, desire is the cause for destruction. Don't keep on desiring new and new things. तो बच्चे ने मेरा लेक्चर पूरा सुन के फिर मैं जब बोला बेटा मार्क्स क्यों नहीं ज्यादा लाता है, सर डिजायर इज द कॉज फॉर जितना मिला उससे मैंने ये किसने, लॉर्ड बुद्धा आपने नहीं एक्सप्लेन, आई अंडरस्टूड। बेटा फिर माँ को क्या बोलेगा, यही डायलॉग उधर में चिपकाएंगे, करेक्ट? ओके, लेट्स प्रोसीड। This stage, this was the period of underline renunciation. What is renunciation? You write giving away everything. अभी फिर बच्चा आदमी आके बोलता है मेरे पास था ही क्या देने के लिए, सब तो सब लोग लूट लिए, करेक्ट है? घर मेरा नहीं था, ज्वेलरी उसका पापा ने डाला, कार उधार में आया था। But what I am trying to say, when you are at the last stage of your life, try to relieve yourself. अभी हमारा स्टूडेंट को ज्यादा होमवर्क बोलते सर मैं ये स्टेज में अभी जाऊं क्या, बोले क्यों नहीं सर, I relieve myself from all the books and the homework. But you cannot do. You are at the student's age now. Let's go to education. Was imparted through private gurukuls. Danya, there are certain schools and classes जिसका नाम ही गुरुकुल। उधर देखा है, रास्ते में आता है, I don't know। अच्छा स्कूल के रास्ते।
Just the school girl preschool.
अच्छा, the residence of the
I
guru।
think यार मुझे नहीं रास्ता।
ठीक है, called underline gurukul meaning family of the guru and underline sacred institution। मतलब गुरुजी को मिलेगा पहले नमस्कार, फिर पैर टच करेगा। अभी हमारा बच्चा नमस्कार, वो कौन पैर तेरा, मैं क्यों टच करूं? हाँ, देखो ये भी ऐसे करती है। देन फिर बोलता नहीं सर, गुरु हमारे लिए देव के समान। मतलब कौन? दानव। ये बेटा वो गलती से कभी बनता नहीं कभी। When I remember this, Arjuna, correct, gave the answer to whom? His own guru. द्रोणाचार्य। आज भी हमारा इंडिया में कोच का अवार्ड जो मिलता है, द्रोणाचार्य अवार्ड मिलता है। कोचेस क्रिकेट कोच, हॉकी कोच, मीन्स द्रोणाचार्य मतलब कौन था? द बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट गुरु इन महाभारत। He no doubt made Arjuna the greatest archer. You know archer? But then we had Eklavya. How shrewdly this man had asked him his thumb.
So that
Because he had a love for Arjuna. Arjuna से कोई बड़ा धनुर्धर नहीं बन गया। But क्या करे?
No, he had to make him.
What is?
He had to
No, but
make
the
him.
history also say Eklavya without his thumb also he started using. But thumb नहीं है तो understand?
Great.
He can't be the greatest. Wow, if he was a righty, how can suddenly वो lefty बन जाएगा?
I not hold it.
ये idea मुझे अभी आया, मैं जरा next time इसमें lefty हाँ grip हो जाएगा। फिर grip का क्या है?
Yes, बचपन में
इसका बचपन अच्छा अभी का बच्चा ही है,
but like
थोड़ा बड़ा बच्चा। चलिए ये आइडिया मैं एकलव्य को दे देता हूँ, अगर एकलव्य मुझे व्हाट्सएप करता हूँ। Let's proceed. Most of the teaching was done underline orally. At the completion of education, a student used to give guru dakshata. अभी एक पेन लेके देते हैं, ले बहुत हो गया तेरा मेहरबानी लेके जा। But that days it was not that pen or anything, but it is just out of your love and affection you are giving. Next, gurus were greatly underlined, respected and revered. What is revered here? More like holy, puja. The main object of the education, open bracket, physical, mental, spiritual development of the pupils. What is physical? Where I am teaching you physical fitness. अभी मैं मेरा दूसरा 9th batch को बता रहा था कि we have a Agni Veer Yojana which is launched in our country in India. Maybe if the program is successfully launched, if at all you want to serve the Mother India, once at least you cross your age 17, try entering there. Physical fitness is very important. You can serve Army, Navy and Air Force for the next 4 years minimum. You are well trained and well directed fellow, 4 years के बाद भी आप कर सकते। Agni Veer. That's a wonderful scheme, I feel. But there is a lot of ha's and who's about the program. Okay.
Yeah,
The subject of study includes open bracket Vedas, Puranas, grammar, mathematics, ethics, logic, and military science. What is this word? Military science?
Military science is
planning of
wars.
strategies and
Yeah.
war strategy.
If you remember, there were 7 doors, and you have to keep on. Yeah, that was a military science. When Arjuna was describing to his wife, his son was in the womb, Abhimanyu. Look how the science ka fact udhar bhi lekar aaye logon. And the bacha was hearing it very carefully.
But he had only half.
He knows only to enter into the chakra view. He cannot come out. So kisi ne pucha, kyun sir? By the time Abhimanyu was Arjuna was explaining, the mother felt uski wife so gayi. So bacha bhi so gaya. So look, us time par hi un log ne wo mother and womb ka embryo ka relation udhar hi bata. So by the time Arjuna comes into that battlefield, uska beta Abhimanyu andar ghus jata hai. Because nobody except Arjuna knows how to get into that chakra view. Yeah, Mahabharat mein jab karega, I'll let you know. So this shows what level of science and scientific development was done. Let's say food and dress, amusement, aap log silently read kar lo and then tell me. Or shall I only mark quickly? You mark cereal produced was barley. Barley. You understand barley? Vedic, there was evidence of underline rice and milk products, curd, butter, ghee. Soma, a kind of intoxicating drink. Underline that. Only during festivals. Simple clothes. Undergarments called nivi or dhoti. And upper piece. Itna sab nahi rakhne ka, simple clothes yaad rakh lo. Overgarment wo bhi use karte the. And men wore underline turbans, and wearing animal skin was a fashion. And some sadhus used deer skin, underline, that is mrg chal. Mrg is hiran. And men kept long hair. Now, generally, the Brahmins generally. Ornaments, both males and females. Jewelry, open bracket, earrings, rings, anklets, bracelet, necklaces, etc. The main means of amusement, underline Vedic period, chariot races, horse races, dancing, singing. ये उनका amusement था. What is amusement? Entertainment. अभी हमारे लिए entertainment क्या है? The TV. TV, mobile phone, whatever. In those days, that was not there. But that was different. Good. The chief musical instrument, open bracket, drum, flute, mridanga, and lute. Real lute, मुझे मालूम नहीं. Mridanga, have you seen? The two-sided South Indian generally they play mridanga. They do not play tabla. Mridangam is a South Indian form of a tabla. Jol की अलग shape है, mridangam का अलग shape. Flute only. हाँ, इधर तो flute है. Flute है already. Check it out. Now, religious belief, underline, worship forces of nature. And then second line, large number of gods. Most important, underline Indira.
Yeah.
Indira is the
God of Thunder.
correct thunder. Underline then he is also known as Purandara. Purandara. ये मराठी word मैंने सुना Purandara. And Jitendra. हाँ, वो तो Purandara. He is considered underline rain god. And then you write Agni, fire god. Now put it up here. Both the links. Very bad. The second position, Agni. The third position, Varuna. There were other Vedic gods. Did you see what I am reading?
Yes.
Vayu, Surya, Yama, Rudra. And Vedic Arshan worship, underline, even female goddesses. Was it like a female? Then let us go to next page. Sacrifices. Religious evolution, simplicity, nature of worship was lost. Open bracket. Rituals and sacrifice become daily routine. If I use our daily routine, do you feel daily routine was very important for this yajnas? Even today, you might have seen certain South Indians morning and evening when they come out of the house, they do the puja only and then come out. I cannot go to a temple. आधा घंटा 2 घंटा उधर बैठो फिर पूजा करो फिर ऑफिस में बोलेगा चुपचाप उधर ही बैठ जा मत हाँ but at least in our house we have a small temple at least पैर पड़ के निकलो so that is what this comes from Vedic civilization. Okay. Besides yajnas, underline common people perform small yajnas. Rich people conducted bigger only underline rich people and bigger sacrifices. Then during yajnas, underline purohits received open bracket gold expensive clothes. वो add करना पड़ता. अभी ये कोई king का अगर कोई यज्ञ कर रहा है तो ये सब मिलेगा. Poor person कहाँ से gold देने लगा. Next. Ritualism had gained so strong roots, underline. Small deviation considered as sin, underline small deviation. What is ritualism according to you? Okay, even today there are, when you say that Gayatri mantra, you have to exactly pronounce that word. अबे हम और आपका tongue इतना शुद्ध नहीं कि वो संस्कृत word exactly बोले. Better you don't. So if in those days, if you are chanting any mantra, the pronunciation has to be taught correctly. If not, अब वो यज्ञ में बैठ के भी आप पुण्य नहीं मिलेगा, क्या मिलेगा? Sin मिलेगा. So that's what they are saying. It's very, very strict. And I'm waiting. You read all that and tell me new doctrines. Then we will read only economy. Who do not have a textbook on this? Don't mind. Just read. Read it. Any point, any line you want to explain?
So can you explain last point?
Which line? Look at that. The Brahmins came to be considered as possessing divine powers. What is divine powers? Abhi I say I can invite the Indra. But as a Brahmin in those days, they used to say, and common people who do not know Sanskrit or Vedas, they will believe it. Correct. If you remember a small episode in Mahabharata, where that heavy rainfall, suddenly Krishna lifts the entire piece of a hill on this one. So, uske liye bhi log ne logical reason diya hai. He did not lift it using a small finger, little finger. He just made the people to come under one small, kya bolte, hill, so that कौन सा भगवान है वो उधर thunder का कौन सा Varun Indra. At least till the time his anger was not done, they will at least. हाँ. But ये लोग ने वो महाभारत में जरा ज़्यादा ही दिखा दिया. He is lifting it with a nobody can do. But then थोड़ा बहुत mythology में चलता ही है. Some people ask me, sir, was Ramayana and Mahabharata was a truth? Yes, it was true to certain extent. Because we have found the city of this Hare Krishna under the Narmada river, submerged. Even the toys with which he played, it is there. Then if you ask me Ramayana, it is nothing but, it is the Colombo, Sri Lanka. That was a place where Sita was kidnapped and kept. And this Lankeshwara, we call it as Ravana, was the king of Sri Lanka. Are you understanding? So this is what you and me have to understand. To a certain extent it was a truth, but not to a great extent. I understand. Okay. And then what else? No rituals, religious acts, celebrations would commence without the presence of Brahmins. But for anything and everything in your house, any puja you need to do, who need to be there? So directly and indirectly, who was earning good money? Brahmins only. Even for a death, he will come. Even for a birth, he will come. अभी सोचो अगर अपना घर में अभी आपका बर्थडे है, suddenly बोलो रुको सर पुरोहित आएगा फिर ही बर्थडे में ये कौन सा बर्थडे? In those days, they will not have celebrated birthday. I'm just saying it. For anything and everything, the purohit has to be there. Correct? Chaliye, let's proceed. Then the next para, economy. Shall I just read it?
Yes.
Economy. The Vedic economy was primarily, did we underline already this? Pastoral. Aryans underline capital was synonymous with wealthy person. Anybody notice
So
this?
you can go on.
That's it. Now, if I use the word wealthy person today, you might be having 2 or 3 flats, maybe good number of cars. That also costly. But if I say in Aryan civilization, he is a wealthy person, he is having 200 cows and 400 buffaloes. In those days, wealth was to be measured in terms of cows and buffaloes only. So that is why they are saying when that boy is going to get married, he will give 100 cows or some buffaloes to that. Hello, आप अपना बेटी के लिए ये रख लो और बेटी को दो. Are you understanding? So this kind of dowry, maybe some other thing we do not know, but initially यही बोला गया. Now let us proceed with the next one. There are references to fire, underline, burning the forest cover, sorry. Area received, that is shifting. Underline color shifting cultivation was practiced. Area received less rainfall. They were known to be courses frequently. ये नहीं चाहिए. Conditions were alluvial lands near permanent bases. Underline. They have done alluvial soils में permanent agriculture practice करते थे. The growth of agriculture was made possible. Underline. Vast tracts of fertile lands. Later Vedic texts underline oxen and yoke to plow. You know what is ox, na? Ox. Yes. Ox and oxen. Towards the end of this period, underline plowshares, no need. Craftsmen mentioned. What is it? Yoke means a bigger form of an ox. ये जो हिमालय में वगैरह में दिखता है ना योक बड़ा whatever it is वैसा टाइप का नहीं. And none of these groups ये भी नहीं चाहिए. Low status. Then come down to trade. Later Vedic phase generation underline surplus led to trade. Even in fact circle the word surplus. If I want to say today trade, now everyone knows we trade. But how did the first trade might have started? We have belonged to one family, correct? And we need only 50 kg of rice, for example. But then the production of rice this year suddenly has gone down to 100. अब बोलेगा सर 50 kg हमको चाहिए but 100 आ गया अभी करेंगे. Maybe 20 kg I keep it in warehouse, but then also left how much? 30. अभी ये surplus का करेगा. Then the trade start. You understood what is trade now? Due to the surplus only the idea of what started? Trade. So that is surplus. Then towns and cities underline further impetus. Hey, what is the other word for impetus? You can write the encouragement. Then trade become the pivot, that is main action. Aryans introduced underline points, circle. Barter system was dominant. And occupations, trade, other, that's okay. Just read it. And ये जो comparison है वो read कर लो. That is the end of this chapter. So finally, with great compulsion, we have finished with it. Please read it. And turn to your worksheet. You have any questions, you can ask me. Answers. Good. Who has not done it and who has done it? Who has not done it?
Last.
Danya, you have done it? Why? Then forgot ka medicines hai. Ask what? How many have not done except these two? All have not done. Why? Why?
I didn't get time.
Don't tell me. One full week is there.
Yes.
And you are saying you don't have the time.
Yes, I usually do.
So do one thing. All the children will solve it once here and twice in your note. Not those who have done it. Other all children.
एक बार लिखता हूँ
क्यों?
मैं
तो भूल गया ना क्या?
दो बार पढ़ता हूँ
No.
Sir, I don't.
No problem. You are battling with me. Chup chap bat. Who else? So all the 3 or 4 will be writing once. Hey, Manasvi, you have done? Oh, smart. You also 1 time in your volume and 2 times in your notebook. How about Parth?
Fine.
Parth already skipped out. ठीक है, come on. अभी solve करो, देखेंगे. Who can solve it right now? The least possible time. I'll see boys. All the questions. Now since I've cleared the chapter.
Thank you.
Time बहुत है और 50 मिनट. Yes, I'm coming from offshore.
अरे इधर है ना
Thank you. Very good. Yeah.
एक मिनट
वो आएगी ना लोगों की वजह आप इतना एब्सेंट कैसे लोग
नहीं कर सकता है अच्छे भी नहीं है
तुम लोग के स्कूल की पिकनिक हो गई है क्या Okay.
Hey, I want all the questions, man.
Yes, sir. I will do.
No, no, no. You have to do 3 times, 2 times here and 1 time there.
Yes, sir. One time. In text. In text.
That's not allowed. Once not done means not done. Thank you. I'll see you in my next lecture. Take care, sir.
सर एक बार कर
Nahi.
सर आप एक तरह एक तरह स्टार्ट होने वाला
Hey, the others, please do it. So after the exams, you submit it. No problem.
हाँ चल रहा है आपका
हाँ तो ठीक है. Those who have done, then why are you worrying?